Welcome to the Blue Army podcast, here with Dale Storey. A 2-2 draw with FC United Manchester and a very entertaining game of Bet Victor Northern League Premier Football.
Yeah, I think we just said, didn't we? It's a really good advert for non-league football. It was brilliant, really exciting. You couldn't really take your eyes off it, could you? It was great.
It was pulsating end to end. And new manager Curtis Woodhouse hasn't been in post 2 weeks yet, and you can already see what he's trying to impart on the side.
You can't you? I think you could tell that within 10 minutes of the game. I mean, I wasn't there Tuesday night. You were. You said it was good.
Yeah.
So I can only make comparisons to the Ashton game. And obviously he's changed the shape. They seem to be a lot higher pressing. They seem to be a little bit more physical, which is not a bad thing, I don't think. Their attacking play was quite exciting to watch. Curtis Morrison and Mitchell Dunn were excellent till Mitchell Dunn got injured. It was great in the first half, and they could have been 3-4 up at half time.
Inside the first couple of minutes, we could have been 1 up, couldn't we?
Curtis has a shot which the keeper saved.
Yeah.
I think Russell hits the bar until 10 minutes, something like that.
Fantastic lob that
would
was.
have been a great goal. That would have been such a good goal. I think we were out of our seat then, thinking it was in. You know, it's just one of those moments.
Get the follow up.
He made the change. He put Kingsley James at right back, which I personally thought worked quite well.
Got to see that second half against Dunstan, and he looked very composed. He's got a lot of experience in the game, and he's brought that in very settled, very calm, and he was actually involved in some of Trinity's better play going forward.
Well, he set the first goal, didn't he? It was a great ball for Gav Allett.
Looked like he'd overrun the ball a little bit, but did well to recover and then have the presence of mind to slide the ball in for Allett. And that's
a good goal.
4 goals in 2 games.
Well, we were talking earlier, weren't we, about Gav Allett, and Gav Allett is just a new player, isn't he? Since I mean, 4 goals in 2 games. Again, I wasn't there Tuesday, but just what I saw him today reminded me of how he played last season with Boston. I was quite excited for Gainsborough when he signed for this season, because last season he was excellent. I think giving him the captain's armband is a great move by the manager. I think he's really lifted him, and I imagine it's one of those moments where you just, put your arm around someone and say, you know what, you're good. And he's playing with
believe in it. And
exactly. And I'm not saying that previous management didn't believe in him. I'm sure they did. But sometimes it just takes someone new to come in and just give you that little bit of a boost, and long may it continue. And he nearly scored others, didn't he? I mean, if he'd had the legs at the end,
he did. He ran himself into the ground.
He played ever so well. He played really well. But there aren't many Trinity players that can come on here and say he didn't play well today. If any, to be fair.
That'd be unfair to come on and say.
They put in a real shift, and at the end of the day, FC United and Manchester, one of the form teams of the division, they're inside the playoffs. It's a hard place to come and win here. Big crowd, big pitch.
1,600 through the gate.
If you think, you think at Gainsborough we get 500.
Yeah.
It's a bigger crowd. It's a great point. It is a really good point today, and hopefully the benchmark to get more. And I think what sums it up is everybody we've spoken to, they're all disappointed not to have won.
Exactly.
And I think that's brilliant.
A change in mindset.
We spoke before the game and said, we'll take a point.
Yeah.
But inside that changing room, they're disappointed not to get more than a point. And I think that's the mentality of the manager.
And that's rubbing off on me, but I'm now feeling a little bit disappointed.
I am, especially after the first half. Because the first half, they were going forward, they were so good, but you saw 2 different kinds of games for today. You saw the attacking flair, and I use that word because I thought going forward they were excellent. But then the dogged, determined defending in the second half, which was bodies on the line. As a neutral, a draw is a fair score, I think. But because they got 15 minutes to go and still at 2-1, you are going to be disappointed. But then you flip it and you talk about the last kick of the game.
Yeah, for Lloyd Allenton's fantastic save.
An amazing save.
I think there's 20 seconds left on the clock. Wow. Stoppage time.
That wins the game. 95th minute.
90 plus 5. Yep. 30 seconds.
That wins the game, doesn't it? It wins the game, and it's a brilliant save.
Yeah. I think Charlie Ennis has got a little bit too much space, possibly because the legs are really tiring at the end. Players, like we said, have given everything, and then it's just that little bit of space. The substitutes wriggled himself free, got an effort away, and Lloyd Allenton didn't want to come back and be on the.
I was impressed with him today because I think out of all the new players, I think starting him could have been questioned because David Robson, saves a penalty midweek, keeps a clean sheet. But I think he's justified why he played him today too. Yeah. And there was another save, wasn't there? 2-1, brilliant save.
And came through a crowd of players, didn't it? And somehow got down to it.
And there was one in the first half where whichever their striker tried to go around him.
Yeah.
And he did really well with that one. So he's pretty, and he tries to command his box and did so more often than not. There's a couple, but again, he's learning, he's young, isn't he? You know.
He did say, I've spoken to him just after the game, and he said he's arrived today and he didn't know every player's name.
Yeah, exactly.
So to come in and put down that marker.
And how long have we got him for? Is he here for the season?
He's on a dual registration with Guiseley,
so it could be.
If we want him to play, I presume he plays. Guiseley could say we want him to play, but then it's up to the player's choice. I think
I see. Is that how that works?
Dual registration is he goes to wherever he really wants to. So hopefully that's with us, but he might be the sort of player that wants to make a step up and play at a higher level. Only time will tell how that one works out.
Well, I think a lot of it's, how much the player's enjoying it as well, isn't it? First impressions.
Yeah,
he's going to be a good keeper. It's very interesting that the gaffer pointed out that there's been a lot of goalkeepers here this season.
Can we name them all already?
Can we? So hopefully a settled keeper helps. It helps if you've got a settled keeper and a settled back 4 or 5. It helps. Other new players today then, Thornton, centre half.
Yeah.
I think that could be a decent partnership with Steno, I
really
strong,
do. Uncompromising,
it got better as the game went on.
Yeah.
I thought the first half games were defensively were a little. I think we said at half. I think you said individually they were playing well.
Yeah, they were doing well
as a unit. They were struggling a bit, whereas the second half, I thought as a unit they were excellent.
Yeah, exactly. And a couple of players looked maybe a little bit leggy at the end, but that'll come as well.
But it's because they've given everything, haven't they? They've
exactly. And Will's on his way back from a nasty injury. I believe he broke his jaw playing a pre-season friendly for Guiseley.
No.
And that's part of the reason why he's out, is to get some match fitness with us. But again,
there's a couple of things he did, and there was a clearance on the line at one point that was really good, and he looked good. And I think you get him back to full fitness. I think he's going to be a quality signing.
And it's just keeping hold of him, isn't it?
Well,
but again, hopefully he enjoys the games for Trinity experience. But he's a youngster that's come through Guiseley's youth system, so.
Then you've got Chadwick in midfield.
Lots
of energy. He does like to tackle. Didn't get booked, did he? I think Middleton got
miraculously.
Yeah.
But no, we got around the park really well. Looked like he had a bit.
Very energetic. I thought and him, Russell, and Middleton in midfield. You've got that energy in there, and you've got a lot of energy to burn. Russell never stops.
Exactly.
I thought Harry Middleton played well today as well.
As a free, they pressed really well. They seemed to know if one was latching onto the ball, closing the ball down, they would almost instinctively know which players they needed to close down next.
That was good to see, and this has clearly come from some very positive training sessions, which the manager's mentioned 2 or 3 times, hasn't he, that they've trained well. And then is that all Mitchell Dunn? I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I thought he looked really good.
He done good.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Am I meant to laugh at that one? Just edit that bit out. Just cut it out.
The tumbleweed just.
Yeah, there it went. Yeah.
But no, he did look very lively when he came on.
When he started.
When he came on at the start of the game.
Oh, is that what you meant? Yeah.
No, when he started, he did have some really nice touches.
And he was. I think when we spoke to Curtis Woodhouse for the game, we asked him. He just said fast, and he's fast. Yeah. You've got him one side, you've got Morrison the other. It was good to watch.
And pace and energy, isn't it?
And
the ability to swap and change as well was there.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with Ross Hannah, who came on. I know he's had a bit of stick, not today, just and I think it's obvious that he even said it to us, didn't he? He's enjoying playing.
In the last podcast, didn't we, as well?
Yeah,
he'd said
previously. He enjoys playing. He's not got that extra responsibility, and hopefully we'll see the Ross Hannah that we saw at times last season. And talk about making an impact. 10 seconds. Wow. And I thought he played well.
He'll ever score, but
quickest.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the speed that counts.
Exactly.
No, it's good to see. It's positive, and it's moving in the right direction.
I think it's great that, and I've said this on the radio, and we've been talking about that. Actually, we've not really got anything to moan about today, have we? It's been really good. It's all positive. It's all good, and the general feel around talking to fans, etc. It's all great. I think it's brilliant that Liam King's still involved, because you and I on here we backed him, didn't we?
We did.
And I think it's great that he's involved. And even just when we spoke to him earlier, he seems a lot more happy,
upbeat,
a bit more upbeat, and I think it's the best situation for everyone at the moment. And if they can just turn it into wins, then, which I think they will.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Well, no, and it's a good point today. It's a very good point. I And I really think they need a cup run. So next week becomes probably the game of the season.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
It was one of the low points last season, wasn't it? The Tamworth in the trophy.
It was a horrible night, wasn't it? We did a podcast in the car.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go home.
Exactly.
Now, I think what annoyed me that game is that.
I think we had 3 on the bench, didn't we? And 1 wasn't even there.
Something like that. But 99% of the interviews you do with a manager, they're pretty much of the same thought of you. They'll say if the team's been poor, or they'll say. Whereas that night, Lee Sinnott thought they played well, and I remember it well. It's on my phone still. Yeah. I think and I thought,
we just couldn't believe what we were hearing.
What is going on? Seriously, most of the time, managers are pretty sensible.
But
when you lose,
just seemed like
you lose 3-0 at Tamworth, and it could have been 6. But that was last season. Yeah. So a bit of revenge, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Playing on plastic.
They had a good record on plastic last season, apart from
no pitch inspection though.
Tamworth. Oh yeah.
And 20 minutes down the road for me.
That's why they do it. That's why the draw's made there.
Exactly. But the last time was Russell in a cup game. Let's hope that it's not a Russell type score.
I think the cup's massively important for the simple fact is Gainsborough second bottom. The likeness of Gainsborough being in a promotion race this season, it's going to take a lot. So if they're not in a cup, is the season effectively over? Because I do believe they'll come out of this relegation battle, if you want to call it that. They'll climb out of that. Whether they're going to be enough to do, but then saying that, FC United have done it, haven't they? They were down near Gainsborough. Exactly. They're now 5th.
Buxton at this sort of time last season were in and around the same spot.
Ended up in the playoffs, didn't they?
Pinching out that spot from us. So it's football, never say never. I don't think Curtis Woodhouse has left a team second in the league below to come here just to avoid relegation.
No, but even he said, I think first things first, get away from that bottom 3. Then say they can be mid-table by New Year. Then who knows? Who knows? And interesting that he's only going to sign 1 more player.
Yeah,
he was looking at 1 more. So he's obviously, I think it's great. He's happy with more or less what he's seen from the players that are here. I imagine a couple will go, but
players around the fringes now. But
more importantly, it's good because I think as when you watch a team a lot, you do get used to the same players. And you grow to like them and this and the other. I think if you come in and made 11 changes, but changes need to be made, and they've all looked really good. The new signings today have all looked really good. And I'm disappointed because I'm not watching Gainsborough again until 30th of November.
So league position could be completely different by then.
Well, I think they've only 1 league game before. Oh, two. But then if they're still in the cup, it'd just be 1. It'd just be Morpeth. Because Lancaster clashes with. Is that Gainsborough?
Sorry?
Is that Gainsborough?
At Gainsborough.
Yeah.
Morpeth for Lancaster.
No, Lancaster's away.
Yeah.
But Lancaster could be a cup game.
Yeah.
And you could go to Lancaster on Tuesday night. Ooh, that'd be nice.
I'll take that if we're still in the cup.
Yeah, they need a cup run. Run, definitely.
And who knows what that could bring? That spirit that's being re-engaged, reignited in the players.
Well, there's certainly a lot of belief in there. Everybody we've spoken to, there's belief. It's nice to hear.
Well, to be honest, there's always been that belief. We've spoken a lot to the players, and they've always had that belief in the side. But there's almost a little bit of confidence that's not. Do you know where I'm coming from?
That word's the word, isn't it? Really, confidence. It's what we spoke to Curtis Woodhouse about before the game. That I imagine when he came in, confidence was at a low. They've just been beaten by Ashton, who were one of the few teams below them. They were poor that day, and the first thing he'll have had to do is come in and pick everyone up. And I imagine that included Kingy and Ross, picking them up. And so far, it's early days. We can't get too carried away. But early days, he's looking good, and hopefully it continues. I'm hoping by the time I come in November, you're still in at the end of the month. Sorry, you're still in the cup, and
a couple of places higher on the table.
Maybe.
But just finally, if we give a shout out to the fantastic supporters that have travelled today, as always.
I think I mention every week. I'll always make sure I ask the manager, whoever it is, about the support, because I think Gainsborough fans are amazing. I think it showed more in the last game than today because of the fact they clapped the players off.
Yeah.
The fact that I think Nathan Hott said they felt embarrassed because there's not once have they turned on the team when things have been bad.
Yeah.
And today, in that corner at the end, it was a really nice moment watching the players go over there. And I think what was brilliant is that the gaffer said, didn't he, that he wanted his players to be able to look them in the eye. I thought that was brilliant. And the fans at Gainsborough, and we speak to quite a few of them, they're brilliant. You, if you're watching, are a credit to this club.
An absolute credit.
Absolute credit, and they're very lucky to have you.
Home and away.
Small in numbers, but very loyal, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I don't know another set of fans that would have put up with pretty much what's happened so far this season and not
have the dissenting voices.
Yeah, some would have, some might have turned, and maybe behind closed doors you think, oh, it's rubbish, but you never see it,
never show it, never ever watching.
I love walking around talking to Gainsborough fans. I think it's brilliant, and you can argue, there's disagreements sometimes, we all have different opinions, don't we, but overall they are in it together, as your motto is, and I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a shout out every time we do this, because I think they're great, home and away.
But thanks for joining us, and we'll be back again. I'll be back again soon. Dale will be back at the end of November.
Bye.